there are maggots on the corpse of the notion that like YouTube is a place for genuine film criticism, which means that they are
Which
not
it
the cause
is.
of it.
And also means
Well-
that a maggot eats rotten meat, and it's a corpse. So,
Which means they're actually cleaning it up, if anything. Yeah.
Yeah, but I doubt that's what he means, though.
No.
I doubt
But maggot and corpse
seems-
are all really negative things,
Very
connotation-wise.
negative.
So
I guess this guy is very anti the idea that you can have like legitimate good film criticism on YouTube, which is I vehemently disagree with. You can have amazing film criticism on YouTube. YouTube's
tell you
just
what.
a place where things can happen.
whether or not it's a great place for it, you know, I obviously think it is, but whether or not you think that is like, who am I listening to today that tells me everyone's a liar? It's like, oh, a liar, good, it's great, this is going to be fucking wonderful. Someone who doesn't even understand remotely who they're dealing with or what they're talking about. Because again, we're very, very negative on CinemaSins overall, I would say, but to just be like, this vile maggot as a disgusting parasite on the corpse of... It's like, okay, alright. There are people who are way worse than CinemaSins, but the whole internet has definitely sort of loved using him as the boogeyman for basically forever, actually. It feels like, I can't remember who was...
It's been a long time.
I guess Nostalgia Critic before him.
Nostalgia Critic before, yeah.
Maybe, yeah. I still see it popping up, the CinemaSins hate. Like, oh, he ruined everything, or he's poisoned the minds of the whatever, and like, ugh, fuck off.
Almost avant-garde level of failure to understand the basics of humor, the mechanisms behind filmmaking, and most importantly, how to make videos that don't suck major dick.
Alright, fine, but like, as you scrolled past here, look at those views, like, he is entertaining the shit out of his audience, so... You gotta wonder, right? How is he doing it? What's working about the videos? Why? Why do people like this? Like, we regularly try to figure this out with Mark Brown to no avail, of course.
One of the things that never made sense to me about the rubbish criticism CinemaSins would make is that they would complain about how long the credits are. It's absolutely baffling to say, fuck you! How dare so many people give a shit about this movie? Also,
I think those are just silly little...
I think he's memeing with it, yeah.
Those are just silly
meme.
memes.
It is a meme, but also, the intros are a lot longer now than they used to be.
I mean, some of them are funny. Like, when you see 17 in a row, you're like, wow. You know,
Well, it's just, remember, like, the Universal one used to just be like, yeah, there it is, up on the screen. Now it's like this, a Disney, it's like, yep, there it is, it's Disney, now it's like 50 seconds long. It's fine. Who gives a shit, really? But like, I mean, it is kind of.
I really don't think this should rank that high. It should be misrepresenting the film is the main issue. That should be the thing you hit him on.
Compared to just saying like, intro logos, long, points. Yeah. Because of course, saying that the new DreamWorks intro is long, it's like that's the least of its problems. It's that it's crap. Why are we doing? Look at all of our intellectual properties here. It's like, oh, don't like that.
So despite them being an actual content mill and producing so many videos so many quickly, their audio
so many quickly.
So many videos. So maybe if you paid more attention to your own videos, you wouldn't say silly things like that, but alright.
Dog shit.
Also, calling it a content mill, that is not fair. Content mills are like different. This is just steady videos of a certain
I mean,
like
I guess
style and construction.
I hate to defend CinemaSins on this, but like each of these videos are what the audience is hoping to see when they come out. His audience, I mean, like they're all very personalized to the film itself. He has watched the films, and commented on the little thing, trying to make some jokes, make it entertaining. You know, they are what, like, content mill. I would think of
one then a channel that does all the breakdowns with the arrow pointing at the circle, like, oh, here's all the things you missed in the new trailer for the new Marvel movie, but then they do it several times. Like, surely that
it gets way worse though, right?
AI
like,
slop,
yeah, with AI, you can
really
mill out stuff. Ridiculous amounts of shit, all of it. And you can, you know, like, what's worse? CinemaSins taking 20 minutes to say this movie's bad for these goofy nonsense and sometimes like maliciously wrong reasons, or someone just like re-uploading a 20-minute cut of a movie with an AI voice giving you narration to give you the story and then just monetizing that.
That's a content mill.
For me, it's like one of those is much more noxious. Especially if you don't, it depends on if you really think when CinemaSins misrepresents a film, is he lying or is he stupid? Like there's a very big difference.
Isn't YouTube trying to crack down on or even stop those AI?
I hope
content
fucking so.
I'm sure it's like now you actually have to use your own voice. If you use AI predominantly, then your video will be removed or something, which will be interesting to see how they figure that one out.
I mean, just the fact that they've announced it and said stuff like this is certainly good that they've done that. I mean, how good that they enforce it will be a different issue. I suppose we'll see going forwards, but I support it 100%. I think essentially the less of this AI stuff you see just clogging up the pipeline, just the better it will be for essentially everybody. And right now, I mean, you go ahead.
I was going to say, when I saw that, I think it was an article that Platoon's referring to, that was in relation to like fake movie trailers. So for example, we might get like a fake trailer for Dune Part 3 6 months before the actual trailer is even ready to come out. And it would be entirely AI generated. And it would get a whole bunch of views and obviously a whole bunch of dislikes because it's not real, but it's also going to get a lot of watch time. And as far as I was aware, that was what it was referring to, which, I mean, good. Get rid of that shit.
I'd also say too that I don't know if you guys have, or I don't know much about it, but I've just noticed it popped up kind of this morning about the Viewbotting issues on like Twitch and
I don't know, that's
stuff like that.
I guess it's gotten out of control because I've always thought that was just a given. Whenever you see Twitch numbers, I've always thought they were like increased by 50% for basically everybody. Everybody's botting and everyone has fans that bot them. It's just like a thing on Twitch. And then if you go to Kick and Rumble and stuff, it's like even worse, like 80% is botted and stuff. And it's so culturally ingrained that I'm pretty sure people who use it are just like, yeah, a lot of it's bots. It's just like, oh.
And in Yes Wumbu, I did see Chud's stream on it. I was watching it a little bit before we began, but I had heard from someone, I think it was someone talking that was covering it, that 40% of the views on Twitch and 70% of the views on Kick are fake. They're view botted. They're not real. And that's got serious issues for obviously monetization, especially in terms of advertisers and what they are willing to pay, because obviously bots don't buy things. And how when Twitch has announced big crackdowns and things on view bots, how a lot of people are going on vacations or they're just saying stuff to get banned and stuff along those lines. So it's been interesting to see because I'm not a part of the Twitch world. I'm over here on YouTube.
There are bots on YouTube as well, but it's like I usually it tends to be a lot more obvious whenever a channel's doing that. It's like, oh, there's no way they're getting that many sort of thing.
And they'd pop up for a while, and then YouTube like got rid of a whole bunch of them. They haven't been an issue for a while, as far as I've seen.
Well, but, it just a lot of the time the view ratio to chat speed is one of the best ways to tell that something's up.
Oh yeah, I think that's a big deal. Though I've heard some people say, "Oh, well, the reason the chat's not saying much is just because they're so engrossed with the game. The game is just so good, and the content's so good. They don't even have they're not even thinking about chatting. Their eyes are glued to the screen."
Of course.
They use so many quickly, their audio is still dog shit. Not merely because of the somehow bad mic quality for a channel.
I'm gonna be honest, I've seen plenty of Sins videos. I don't really have any problem with their audio quality.
Fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I've never had that criticism of him. It's good enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
As they were going past, by the way, I did see that you did a video on Unforgiven. That is unforgivenable. I've never done it.
Channel as big as them, but also Jeremy CinemaSins' incredible lack of talent for narration. Something that I find
it's fine.
Jesus.
It's
fine.
Genuinely, so Rags, you and I have talked about this since the beginning of EFAP. You need a good voice on YouTube. Where would you rank his from 0 to 10, CinemaSins?
I mean, they're probably 6.
I think that's about fair. Yeah, and that's not bad.
He's a little bit better than average.
As long as you get above like 4, 5-ish, you should be okay. You just need to work to your strengths. You know,
when people ask us what they should do for YouTube or tips and tricks and pointers and things, one of the things we regularly say is if you're going to splurge on something, a good microphone is probably a good way to start. Yep. And train your voice. You know, be conscious of your speaking voice. And,
enunciate.
Train it over time. Yes, and enunciate your syllables.
So many people on YouTube, God love them, they'll slip into like, I don't even know what you'd call it, but you know, like a way of speaking each sentence and it just ends up being the same. Like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Like they do every sentence the same sort of rhythm.
Yeah, the same sort of inflections.
It is
celestially epic.
It kills me. Listen to that.
Begins with, and then this, and then, and it's just Vary it up.
The same cycle of inflection over and over, and then you notice that it's happening, and then all of a sudden, it's all you can really notice about the entirety of the narration.
It's like, do you speak?
I don't want people end on an upward
real life.
inflection.
Is that how you are in conversation? Because the ideal style sort of sits somewhere between conversational and authoritative. It's like you're speaking with people as opposed to at people, ideally. But you wouldn't speak like that to your friends. It's not conversational enough. It is just repetitive.
Yeah.
Just pay more attention to how you speak normally, and you'll probably find you're actually better than you are when you try.
I would imagine that's more of a problem with channels that, because like a lot of in particular like Sins, I would imagine he doesn't write his own scripts, or am I wrong there?
Someone, because I'm not sure actually.
Not 100%
well, the guy that there's going to be a bunch of like in particular much larger channels where the guy speaking is not going to be the person who actually sat down and wrote the whole script. And I would imagine that's where you encounter problems because you're not necessarily emotionally engaged with what it is that you're reading. Yeah. Which means that you are just reading a script. You are essentially voice acting and communicating someone else's ideas through your voice, and your voice is the bit that you're being paid to do.
Well, when we watch reviews from like IGN and games, whatever websites, that's what they do, because those are kind of content millie in the sense that they have to pump out a whole bunch of reviews and stuff. So they have one person writing it, one person narrating it, another person editing it together. And so when you listen to it and sentences are cut through in the middle with weird audio edits and things of that nature, it's super disjointed and it's not smooth at all. It's a very unpleasant experience to watch those kinds of videos.
Another solution suggested by a super chat was you could go through a second puberty that is known to help out with.
Ooh, yeah, that's true.
Getting you a deeper voice, yeah. Bad.
Pitch shift your voice down, that can work.
I hope ours hits any moment. I could really use it. Yeah.
Very interesting about their videos is that if they can't find a problem with a movie, they'll just make some shit up.
Knives Out. Classic.
Oh dear.
Although there are no windows that are open that a baseball could be thrown out of without breaking glass, that's exactly what happens. Sure, maybe there's a hidden window in this shot, but considering the ball's flight path relative to the yard where the detectives are walking, yeah, I'm going a long way for this sin.
The bulk of Knives...
We are going, Rags, we are going to inspect the claim, which can let this part complete first, all right? So hold, but yes, your brain has directed you to something correct.
Out was filmed in a single real mansion. In the shot Jeremy is talking about, the window or door the baseball moves through is obscured when Don Johnson throws it. Like he said, I considered the ball's arc, and you can see that it acts perfectly in line with it being thrown from the location shown. I don't know whether this shot is actually from Don Johnson throwing it or just an underpaid intern, but it wouldn't make any difference either way. This movie is extremely polished and well made, and
lol.
Sure, you fell for
Such a fucking atrocious script, but okay,
it's a terrible film.
Has very few identifiable flaws.
Very few identifiable flaws.
All right.
By the way, remember,
you seem like a good person. You wouldn't lie. I'll tell.
This is what it's like. My authority that Sins is terrible, and it's like, didn't you just nitpick the ever-loving fuck out of Sins? Like, you went for that point. Who cares if Sins was right or wrong on that?
Yeah, but he's doing criticism. What's his name's making art.
I see.
Least to talentless hacks like these. My guess is that they originally thought they had a point and then realized it didn't make sense and then phoned in the, I'm going a long way for this sin.
So the reason why he says I'm going a long way for this sin is because if you caught, he says with like the structure of the building, the rooms, then it's just not possible because he would have had to have thrown it through one of the closed windows, which means you'd get a smash, and that's not happening. So that's what he means when he went a long way.
He's essentially acknowledging that this is a nitpick, like in the script.
And that he's gone a little further than any normal person should probably for something like this, because you'd think, like, who cares? But
who cares? Yeah.
As your brains are probably leading to you, was he right?
To distract the viewer. Usually they would explain the sin in abhorrent detail. It's an incredibly deceitful thing to do.
So,
explaining an abhorrent detail is lying?
Well, no. He's saying that normally, when Sins finds a thing that's actually wrong, he explains it in abhorrent detail, and he's moved on pretty quickly with this one, which is proof that he's lying.
This one wasn't quick. He explained it in detail.
I don't know why would he spend any longer? He's made the point. He's moving on.
Yeah. What information has been omitted that is important to the point that we need to know?
No.
Think about it for more than 2 seconds. They're just fabricating a flaw with the movie and saying it.
But like what? Whoa!
Maybe you should think about it for at least 2 seconds.
I just feel like Our threshold for outright, like, remember Ralph the Movie Maker, how long it took us to call him a liar about Joker?
Yeah.
Always go back to that.
I do remember.
You generally shouldn't assume that someone's lying. Just assume that they're
Never.
wrong. Typically.
Unless you-
much like in this scenario right now, I'd be like, this guy is wrong, I think. And you'd be like, is he not lying? And you're like, probably not lying. He's just very
being
passionate and
stupid.
aggressive and being an idiot.
He probably really likes Knives Out, and he really did not like cinemas. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if that was sort of his motivating factor for making this video that he's made.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I really don't see why you would, like, in any walk of life, assume that someone is lying, unless you've received, like, overwhelming evidence that they do this all the time.
And yet that is how the internet functions.
Constantly.
In
The
earnest, they
default
like
assumption.
money much more than they like movies. A usual response to criticism they receive is,
That's a bold claim, but I
Well,
don't
since
know.
since that is that sequence, right? So I was curious, of course, and this is where you're going to need to open up the stream. I was like,
Okay.
what's the happy have? What's going on there? Because I haven't seen Knives Out in so fucking long. I don't think anyone here has, and why would you? Because holy shit, what an awful
fuck
movie!
that.
And a really awful movie that only just got outclassed by its sequel. Wonderful, good job, Ryan.
Christ.
How does he do it?
Yeah.
How does he do it? What a filmmaker.
So, right here, I've got a little image. That is the room where you can see Christopher Plummer is the room with the baseball, which is the one that he throws, right? And the reason I've got this image here is so that when it pans, right, over here, Ransom, the character, is heading out the front door. So it's just to the right of that room. Just so we clear on the geography, you understand now where the room is. I think you would have gotten it anyway, but
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Cool. I
Facing
think
the
I've
front
already
door.
figured it out. I think I've already figured it out. Yeah.
Now,
It's a complete. Oh,
if
okay.
that is where the room is, and this shot is another one of the room, look, and the camera gives us a little move around here, actually. We can see that looks to be the trajectory. This is where
That's where he threw the ball.
That's where he threw it.
I see exactly what I think. I've already figured it out. So he was
right in
meant
the
to be
corner.
throwing the ball into that room to the left, but that wouldn't be visible from where you exit the house.
It would not.
He would have to throw it. Yeah. So it looks like
Interesting.
Sins was actually not
Sins
even
was
going
correct.
far enough. Well, it sounds like he didn't even go far enough because he's saying the window should have smashed. It's like, no, you just shouldn't have seen the ball.
The ball
Well,
should not have been
yeah.
able to go through there because it would have had
You
to
shouldn't have
pass
even been
through
able
the
to
walls
see
of
it
the
at all.
house.
It would have had to go through the walls and then take like a 90-degree angle to then be visible again. Like once it got outside, like it levitates
But-
the other way.
Obviously, what was so nuts to me is like, so Sins was just correct about complaining about this. It's a weird, silly mistake that they made. I don't even know why they made. Like, it's so easy to get this right. And
Well, given apparently if they did shoot it in a real mansion that exists, like that makes it even more inexplicable.
Yeah, just throw it out the window.
'Cause-
Throw the
'cause
ball out
you're
the
like-
window.
You're there, like you're actually
Yeah, you
there,
don't
like,
have to fuck
in the
around.
house. So, but it's
But
funny
one
that
of the
he would get
reasons-
this mad. Why do you get this big
well,
mad?
yeah,
when, like,
this guy
it's
used
right?
this as an example of, first of all, it's like, this isn't real criticism, and that he made it up, and he's a fucking liar. And it's like, dude, he's just
And you're
right.
wrong.
You're wrong, yeah.
You're
I kinda-
wrong and he's right.
I want to say it's important. We were talking about this when we were covering both Knives Out and Glass Onion, is that when you're making a sort of murder mystery movie, and then at the end it seems like all the details and everything actually added up, and along the way, if you were paying attention, everything, it all essentially equates to, if you're paying attention and you get to the end, all the details matter, especially when it comes to a murder mystery movie. Let's compare it to one of my particular favorites, which is A Haunting in Venice, where when they go back through all of the clues and things, you're like, oh, okay, you might have been able to piece that together yourself. But like, this is a murder mystery. The details are super important. And when you're just cheating and making shit up, then I think that really breaks the spirit of what a well-executed, aspect of this genre is.
But-
more so than a lot of movies.
But have you considered that Knives Out is actually changing its genre based on its act structure? Because Act 1 starts with a whodunit, but then Act 2 becomes something else. I can't remember what everybody said because they listened to Ryan Johnson explain what the film was, and they were like, cool, I can just say this. And then it changes back to a whodunit afterward. I agree with you, Rags, completely.
I
The whole
I
idea
do.
of a whodunit is supposed to be that you're able to
All the
infer
details
things and figure it
matter.
out as you go. The idea should be that it's possible to essentially figure it out before, Poirot says, hey, I figured it out and I'm going to explain it to you.
I think that it is important to hold movies to a high standard regardless of what they are. However, I think that for some movies, like murder mystery movies, where the details are paramount to the plot in particular, we should hold them to a noticeably higher standard, I feel. So, something to think about before anyone listens to this or clips to it, or maybe they're new here. That's why we're being so in-depth and pedantic about this kind of thing, because we do give a shit. We do want the story to be good, and in this genre, it really matters.
Didn't make sense, and then phoned in the "I'm going a long way for this sin" to distract the viewer.
I'm curious if the long way was actually Sins checking kind of close to what I just showed with those like he did make sure or something, and he just didn't include it in the video because it's a bit laborious, and this guy managed to interpret that as lying.
Usually they would explain the sin in abhorrent detail. It's an incredibly deceitful thing to do if you think about it for more than 2 seconds. They're just fabricating a flaw with the movie and saying it in earnest. They like money much more than they like movies.
So what I realize about this, and it goes way further than nostalgia critics, CinemaSins, or even like us or critical drinkers, there's just a market to just shit on these channels. It doesn't matter if you're right. Just do it. And it's funny because you'd be like, aren't you guys doing that today? And we're like, yeah, but our thing is to try and fucking use accurate reference. Jesus. Like,
by the way, our point scoring system has positives. We will give points. All right. We'll go through the point scoring system later when we get to it. But we will give points for good criticism. Okay.
And we don't
even people
cite CinemaSins or Wins or any other as the death of cinema discussion online. They destroyed everything. Oh my god.
I mean, a video like this is more damaging, if anything, because it just is actually a lie, and it's just driven by spite, or at least it seems to be.
He's a very angry man.
I'll say this. It's indistinguishable from a video that's driven by spite. I'll say that.
The usual response to criticism they receive is, oh, it's just a joke, but this is not the kind of thing that people who actually like movies do.
No, that's what Cinema Wins does. I just realized we're 2 minutes into this 3.5-minute video, and he spent the entire time dunking on Sins. He hasn't yet said a positive word about Wins.
That's true. But also, you're just not allowed to say something like this. Oh, well, if you like movies, you wouldn't do it. It's like, oh, so says you, the arbiter of how people express their enjoyment of anything.
I am sure this guy is a part of the group of people that says CinemaSins destroyed everything because so many people are inspired by it and use like this sort of system to break down movies. So it's like, so clearly people do. Like, I don't even know what you mean. This is the weird guy we covered on the anniversary who was like, "Oh my god, the internet or the modern." The guy who said the modern years of like the internet, people have now become obsessed with getting the opinions to be proven right, as though discussion on art hasn't existed for fucking ever.
Yeah, as if that hasn't always been the case for all time.
Insane. Yeah, CinemaSins, he's the one that did this.
Back during caveman days when they were looking at like a painting in the cave, Ugg and whatever the other guy's name is would have been arguing about who was right about the interpretation of it.
Yeah, the two of them make a painting, and then some third guy comes in. He's like, "I really like that one. That one is okay." That already is like, "Wow, dude, I really okay." I feel like it's unfair. I worked way harder on mine. Then he's like, "What?" A big fight breaks out because that's how it goes. It's like, well, you know, that doesn't look much like a tree. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think you could have done better.
Really do not get the point of these videos. It's clearly not for comedy because they are incapable of making any particularly good jokes.
I mean, it clearly is for comedy. Whether or not
he makes a lot of jokes.
Is one thing.
Sometimes the jokes land.
Fine. Well, no, all I'm saying is like I don't even like you can say like none of it's funny, and that's totally fine. But like he's trying to do it for comedy.
Well, and his fan base find him funny. So you're gonna have to deal with that. You know,
they're all stupid.
Yeah. His objective is clearly to entertain you. He's not just like I mean, I guess he is bullet pointing, but he's not just like bullet pointing unemotionally like the problems with a movie, as if it was like a text document or a PowerPoint presentation.
Also, I enjoy that what they've got on screen is a good point. This was fucking ridiculous. The whole vomit being a plot device and that it is inconsistent. It's stupid.
It's terrible.
What a stupid idea.
Knives Out is an awful fucking movie.
Jokes. So we're left with the inevitable motivation of cash. These people do not give a shit about their craft.
You're not,
they upload constantly.
That's not how this works. It's just, okay, if I think that you're wrong in your criticism, it can only be a lie. If I think that your videos aren't funny, then it's not. Then you're not even trying to tell jokes, and therefore the only acceptable conclusion is you are doing it for money. It's the sort of solipsism of bad faith. It's just I can't understand the appeal of these videos, therefore I'm going to conclude that it's what I always thought it was.
Wait, hold on, because he's that does. I'm just so lost here because he's saying that CinemaSins makes videos because he wants money, and because he wants money, he makes sure that they are full of lies and that they're not funny.
Well, he's got no talent. That's why.
I mean, if we were to say that, oh well, Ryan Johnson, right? I mean, his movie is very bad. It's full of flaws and it's not funny, so he must only be doing it for the money. He doesn't actually like film. Like, obviously, we wouldn't say that, but. I mean,
yeah, well, that kind of charitability doesn't exist with videos like this, because we would absolutely say, like, Ryan Johnson, yeah, he's invested in storytelling and he wants to express himself through the art of storytelling. Sure, 100%. I just think he's bad at it.
Yeah, whereas obviously Ryan Johnson thinks that he's making good movies, whereas this guy seems to be saying that CinemaSins is deliberately making bad videos so that he can make money.
Or at least doesn't care that they're bad.
Yes.
But that would be the weakest version of the claim.
Mm-hmm.
Helpings of slot for people to look at and think, wow, I watched this movie. Or maybe they'll just use it as an alternative. I do think their use of movies is fair because they provide...
That's not CinemaSins' fault, but...
Fair because they provide criticism and commentary, even though it's snide, asinine, and vacuous.
So that's the CinemaSins section. Now...
okay. I'm not convinced.
Here comes the win.
Okay.
So... If you weren't convinced CinemaSins is a piece of shit from that, maybe you'll be convinced that Cinema Wins is a Chad from this section.
Lee Cinema Wins is the opposite of this. The points are sound, narrated as if he actually gives a shit, and reflect a profound...
Just suck him off already. Jeez.
I know, right?
How do you know that he cares more than CinemaSins? You can't know that.
Because he gets things right, that's why.
I think the issue really is that... a lot of people just aren't able to engage with criticism well. That's just like that's just the answer to all of it. You see it on Twitter, you see it on YouTube all the time. People just can't engage with not analyzing art well.
We've hit on it so many times. The rules for dealing with people's criticism are completely different than dealing with people's praise. It's ridiculous. Yep. It's retarded. It's stupid.
Praise gets a pass.
It's so sad too. It's just like, grow the fuck up. Like being like, oh, you said all these criticisms about this thing. You must be sad, pathetic. You don't understand film, blah blah blah. Or I could just praise
racist, blah, blah, blah.
Shawshank Redemption for a bunch of things Alien does, and people just be like, yeah, but it's you clearly liked it. Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. Instead of being like, wow, what a moron.
He's great at narrating.
Which is like, I guess he's a little better.
Sure, sounds a bit more alive than Sins.
Sure, yeah.
His delivery sounds like he cares more, but that doesn't mean his videos are better.
That doesn't mean, and it also doesn't mean he actually cares more.
Yes,
to be clear, like you could just pretend like you care.
No, Frank.
Like
if it sounds like it, it must be. It must be that way. If it sounds that way,
he clearly cared about that movie. I find it so insane. Like, he didn't give a shit, and that annoys me way more. Like, he really does. Like, why are you making a video praising a film that you clearly didn't vibe with?
These people would get killed by the Wendigo so fast.
That was deception.
Oh, it sounds like my friend needs help over there. It must be him.
His audience were like, you gotta review The Last Wish. It's one of the best movies that's come out in recent years. And he was just like, whatever, cat movie, fine.
I'll look up a top 10 list of weird details. If I not understand the theme, it's fine, whatever.
And that's actually one of the core pieces of advice we often give to any aspiring YouTubers. It's like, please stick to talking about things you care about.
Please give a shit.
So many mainstream movies come out that we completely skip, and people are like, oh, why do you talk about it? It's like, none of us are that vibey with it. However, it's like, you're going to be talking about Alien Earth? It's like, yeah. Like, Alien. Oh, Alien.
Narrated as if he actually gives a shit, and reflect a profound passion for movies that is honestly awe-inspiring. The level of
You need to calm down.
In both sections, he needs to calm down.
You need to relax, my dude, and use your brain.
This seems like a meme video.
More than your heart.
This seems like this guy is trolling. I can't believe that anyone would have. Honestly, someone describing like any of us like that, I would be like, calm down, please, a little bit. Like,
is this a meme?
No, this is obviously trying to bank on this ridiculous. When I saw this, I was like, oh, it's gonna be exactly like borderline, just exactly what this is. Like you know,
I think randomness incepted the idea that it's a meme into my mind now.
This would only be a meme if it came out of our community. This is the kind of thing that, you know, if someone made this video,
Goodell kind of,
yeah,
or inspiring.
But unfortunately, this is kind of the perception of these two channels, the broad film community on the internet, I guess. Like this is like Sins is terrible, Wins is good, and it's like, why? Well, because Wins is so passionate. Wins knows everything about film. He knows how to point out good things. Sins, on the other hand, he gets everything wrong. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Blah blah blah. It's like the easiest sort of slam dunk.
Firing. The level of Chad energy that this channel.
Jesus.
Oh my God! Just suck his cock already, Jesus.
By the way, like, are we at the point where it's like has ever you know, it's funny talking about Superman. Has everybody gotten to the point where it's like just saying like, oh, be positive? It's like, yeah, thanks, man. Like that's that's really insightful.
Oh no, I never even had that point. I just default straight to fuck you and go away.
Well, whatever. As if anybody who likes that movie has been fucking utilizing that message.
I don't know. You know how people say like, well, yeah, I mean, clearly, because the conversation around Superman has been so relentlessly positive and not mean-spirited at all.
Yeah, but also noxious in any way.
You know, like, let people like things, let people hate things. Like, that feels like something that needs to get a little bit more like, let people just shit on something. Like, if they think it sucks, let them hate it. That's
been an unpopular thing to do, is to hate something, because it's like, well, that's a bad thing to do. That's bad for the world.
The idea that it's like a Chad thing to say isn't good. Like, what are you talking about? Wow, Chad, yes. Oh, yeah.
Is the very essence of CinemaSins as a concept. Lee CinemaWins has the goal to say, movies are good, actually.
Holy shit, man.
Wow, the gall. Wow, what a controversial
opinion. What if they're shitty?
This is a bit of an awkward thing, because I'm pretty sure CinemaSins will say, like, films are good in the description of positive, like, films that are generally...
At the
like
end,
in Unforgiven,
movies.
It'll probably. Well, what I mean is that like there are just direct acknowledgements. Oh, it's good. The whole thing is like, oh, every movie's got problems. It's not every movie is shit. Like again, so you know, like that is the point that they're making. If you want to take it seriously, their point is even good movies have flaws. Whether or not you think those flaws that are pointed out are accurate, I mean that's totally fair as a point. But, like, you can't say, wow, they have the temerity to say that films are good. CinemaSins also does this.
Well, also, like, Wins is going to say, Wins saying that, like, movies are good, actually, like, fine, but based on his performance with Puss in Boots in particular, he did an awful job of convincing me that that movie is good, even though it actually is.
Even though it is. Yeah.
And then you end up having to do Sins by default if you ever get into a conversation about two good movies, and the question is, which of these is better? Because then you have to essentially start looking at some of the problems with each of them and concluding based on the number of problems in one and the way that they impact the overall experience of the movie or the overall story, that one is worse. You can't have a gradation of good unless you're willing to do kind of what CinemaSins does, although hopefully better, and acknowledge problems in movies. It's fine. I'm happy to start with the premise, let's discuss more good movies. That's fine by me, but I'm still going to be framing that in terms of criticism, or at least critique, because I want to understand which is the best one and why it is the best one. Arriving at that via negativa can work better than just saying, oh yeah, they're both good, because that just doesn't tell me anything about either of them, except that you like them, which I'm not interested in, unless I trust your opinion, which in this case I don't.
So I just checked this guy's channel. I think he might potentially be a troll. He's got a video, the Lego movie is communist propaganda. And he's got another one, B movie is capitalist propaganda.
I'm sorry, you reading off those sounds like the most normal fucking videos to be made these days.
That might not be a troll at all, actually. I could imagine somebody earnestly making the argument.
But did you see my last video? I mean, yeah, these people are everywhere.
So
yeah, I could totally
everything's
believe
capitalist
that.
Propaganda.
It is
I don't think you'd mind me.
You got Will Ferrell, who's like the big boss man in charge of like the big corporation and stuff. So you know, I imagine there's an angle. Yeah, that's right.
I don't think you'd mind me saying, but I was talking to Capital Opinions the other day about, he was asking me, you know, was it difficult to, is it just difficult these days to find, like, particular videos you want to sort of react to or talk about for conversation stars and stuff? And I was like, not necessarily. There's still, like, plenty of interesting things to discuss. He was saying, like, because it just feels like a lot of usual suspects / the market of creating videos that break down films and say wacky, insane things. For example, what will save the MCU is the Muppets. A fun, unique take like that, where you're just like, what the fuck are you talking about? But he said, like, it just seems so many of these channels and so many new ones just immediately pivot to politics, like some kind of analysis about, and I don't know when it started, but there was like a crop of, this film that from your childhood is actually the worst thing you've ever thought could exist, and you're like, huh? And some related to some like political stripe or whatever, or encourages some ideology that's horrifying. And so you saying like, oh, he's got videos talking about how that's so typical now. It's like Willy Wonka is fascist, It's like that video's out there. Fucking Cars is something. It's something horrible. It's just become it's a good way to grab views and like I guess a lot of people like to engage
when
with
you
it.
Tell me that a video that says that the Lego Movie is like pro-communism, like when you say that that's a video that exists, that actually makes me less inclined to believe this is trolling. Funnily enough,
but
now I think this is real.
I do wish to go back to when people didn't pretend they knew everything about politics and instead pretended they knew everything about film. That was more fun in the film
nicer.
sector.
Yeah, that was nicer. I will agree.
It's a good, actually, and we applaud when he says that he loves a movie. You believe him. He does not make up shit to say about the movie.
I don't actually.
No,
I don't.
When you say that you like every film, like, or when you like, yeah, once you're at that point, it's like, dude, this is like meaningless to me.
I mean, like, of course it's me. The motherfucker said, pretend you like it and see if it's what you wanted.
Yeah, like if we're at that point, then yeah.
Also, the example that he just brought up of Wins being like, genuine, like good faith praising of movies is I like Daniel Craig's mask in the movie.
Oh, well.
Ding.
Sure.
Because he can
wait, hold on. You can tell he has film criticism skills because the videos about good movies are much longer than the videos about bad movies. Hold on. I'm sorry, what? Bad movies?
Wait a minute.
There are bad movies. Interesting.
Bad
they do
movies.
They do it all the time.
There are bad movies. There is such a thing as a bad movie as ordained by you.
Yep.
And it's okay to say that they're bad movies, and it's okay to be negative about them, right?
I guarantee this metric does not actually pan out as well on Wins' channel.
No, but I also think that it's just inaccurate on the face of it, because it takes, if something is really good versus really bad, it's going to take longer to explain why the thing is really bad.
Okay, so to give you guys an example, he's got 2 videos on Deadpool and Wolverine, one at half an hour, one at 25 minutes. Cinema Wins now. So for the whole movie, it's nearing an hour. Meanwhile, The Last Wish got 16 minutes.
Yeah, so in case this is a hot take, Puss in Boots 2 is substantially better than Deadpool and Wolverine.
We're talking Coughing Baby versus Nuclear Bomb. That's not even close.
We're talking a 1 out of 10 versus like an 8.5, maybe even a 9 out of 10.
Oh yeah,
like it's
Last Wish is stellar.
Ends of the spectrum.
So you want to know? I can list some others that are longer than The Last Wish, including but not limited to Sonic 3, Fantastic Four 2005, of course. We got. Oh god, it's the original Lilo and Stitch. We're okay. If it was the remake, I would have killed myself. But Alien Romulus, half an hour, of course.
Well, you can tell he has film criticism skills because his videos about good movies like Deadpool and Wolverine and Alien Romulus are much longer than the videos about bad movies like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is longer.
You're joking.
Oh no!
Free Guy. Free Guy is longer.
Did I saw The Lost.
God. We did an episode on it. We have seen it, Rags. Yes, we did.
We did do an episode on it.
No, we didn't. That didn't happen.
Yes, we did.
None of this happened. This isn't an
Is that the one with all the Aztec people who want to take over the land?
No, that's Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
See, he doesn't even know the movie either because it never happened.
Well, no, I watched it on an airplane and I just can't remember it, but I know I watched it.
There is. It's the one where Aquaman teams up with Ocean Master. And they go like on a little adventure.
What the fuck is Ocean Master?
It's okay. Stop trying to recover it. Let it flush. It's fine. You don't need that in your head. Just let it flush. So again, just to remind you, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, 18 minutes. Right. The Marvels, 18 minutes and a half.
Oh no!
You can tell he has good film
marbles.
criticism. He has film criticism skills because of videos
Oh,
about good
no.
movies, much longer
He
than
just-
the videos about bad
By
movies.
the way,
This guy just put this bullshit in his video and he didn't even bother to check to see if it was true.
his video on the Prestige is 21 minutes. It's like, no. It loses out to, yeah, so,
21
alright.
minutes for the Prestige, but an hour for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Who wants to bet what the actual bias is? It's not about whether or not the films are good. Probably about something else.
His talent for film analysis and criticism is self-evident. Hokey though the narration may
Then why did you make this video if it's
It
self-evident?
was self-evident.
What are we
Why would you?
doing?
Yeah, why would you even need to
Why
point
explain
it?
it?
Out? But, all right.
You just have to say it's better because it's self-evident.
be at times, he's still much funnier, much more insightful, and more importantly, much more entertaining. He does his fucking research.
Oh well, I mean that's. I do enjoy that because entertaining is so fucking subjective.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you even say that? He's more entertaining. What are you doing?
Did you
Also, I take it you guys would
What did I
presumably
miss?
agree that
No,
What I
it's,
missed?
He was just about to say that he does his research, which he clearly fucking didn't for last
Obviously
week.
doesn't. Well, he didn't do his research for the big point he just made about the time with the videos.
True. Yeah, unless Deadpool Wolverine is just an 11 out of 10, maybe you just didn't understand it.
Might be.
Yeah, maybe
might be.
we're crazy. Maybe it actually is really amazing.
much more entertaining.
Sorry, random, you saying something?
Oh, I was going to say, I would. Do you guys agree that it would be more important if you had to choose one to be accurate over being entertaining?
Accurate.
Being
Yeah.
accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas this guy he did not praise Wins for being accurate. He praised him for being entertaining.
He said he did his
importantly.
research, which I
He
guess is
said
the
he did his
closest thing to
research.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
think
that wasn't. He said most importantly he's more entertaining. Like that's what he seems to care about more when watching Wins.
Did he
That's
say
what he
most
said.
I think he did,
I
yeah.
believe so. Yeah.
I do
No.
get the sense that he's the kind of person who uses sort of like filler qualifier words when he doesn't really understand what they mean, like abhorrent detail. I don't really know what that means, but abhorrent sounds good, so it goes in his script. And so most importantly, it's just, this is what I want to stress, whether it is in fact, literally speaking, most important, and whether I think that is beside the point. What I want is just to say that this just belongs here in the sentence, I guess, is what I get the impression from.
Much more insightful, and more importantly, much more entertaining. He does his
I see. It's more important to be entertaining than insightful.
Interesting.
fucking
That is the
research.
opposite. Yeah.
Revealing, one could say.
Yeah.
Entertaining.
It's
He
fine
does
if you're
his
wrong, as long as you're fun.
fucking research, points out interesting
Fucking
tidbits about
research,
movies, and has
Jesus.
an infectious positive energy that reminds us
Hold
why
on.
we love films. Like, wow, this guy
Syphilis is infectious.
Like, I don't know. Like, if you need to be like reminded by watching shit videos, like, goddamn, you know.
Like
Yeah.
what he just said though about like he needs to be. It's more important to be entertaining than to be accurate. Like that explains why Sins is so successful. But this guy is maintaining that Sins should not be successful because his videos are awful. Like
That's
Sins
actually
should.
a fair point. That's a
Yeah,
fair
if
point.
Sins is like entertainment value and comedy appealed to him, he'd be praising it.
gives a shit about movies, and he wants to share his passion for it with the world. Do not let CinemaSins dumb down your media analysis. You, yes,
Bro. Don't let Wins do it either.
you are smart enough to know that this shit is bad. Watch things that actually have something to say. Be like Lee.
Who?
I guess that's the name of the cinema.
Lee
Wins guy.
Cinema wins.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's
Well,
a
that
good
was-
sort of representation of how the world views these two channels, and not quite how we do, you know? A little bit different for us.
Yeah, that was consider me not convinced.
Not even slightly.
No, that was bad. That just is a terrible spite-driven video that is worthless garbage, other than how we can use it to make fun of it for our own careers. I mean, that was awful.